Hey there, YouTube. Brad here, aka Unique FLH. Let's talk about HomeKit. Now, we could talk about my Harleys, Touring Models FLH stuff. We could talk about my 2010 Audi A3, which has been slightly modified. Or we could talk about when an old dude does BMX stuff. But as I said, this is about HomeKit. Specifically, let's talk about VIZ Designer. To briefly explain, VIZ Designer is a program that you can download to a Windows or Mac OS, and it gives you the ability to create a custom dashboard, typically used for a wall mount iPad, for monitoring and control of your HomeKit Home. It's pretty cool, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. Just to be clear, this is not a review or a how-to for the VIZ Designer program and building a dashboard. All this is kind of an overview of how I've decided to use it and how it works best for my specific use case. If you'd like an in-depth review and a far better video on the VIZ Designer product, I strongly recommend you check out Shane Watley's channel here on YouTube. He's far better at this stuff than I am, and he did a really good video on this product. Okay, to kind of explain my use case, I was not looking for something that I could mount on the wall and stand there and fully control my home all the time. If I want to do that, I just use my phone. It's way easier. My wall mount iPads are intended to give me a quick view of everything within my house so that I can just check the status of accessories and see if there's anything left on that needs to be turned off, or just get a easy to access quick overview of what's going on around the house. Now, I have two different iPads that I use VIZ Designer on. One is down on a basement table. The other is wall mounted just inside the garage entryway. It's a spot that we pass many times throughout the day, and the iPad is motion activated by an Aqara motion sensor, so it automatically pops up the screen when motion is detected. And here is an overview of what pops up. The main part of my home page is dedicated to cameras. These are just the primary cameras around my property. I just want to be able to get a quick check of what's going on outside. I have these set up for snapshot view, so the images refresh about every 15 seconds. The other parts of the screen remain static as I navigate through different pages within my dashboard. For example, the room tiles to the left can be used to navigate to any other room in the house. They also contain an icon kind of describing what the room is for, and then also there's a power status monitor that tells me if any major accessories are left on within that room. Up at the top of the screen, we have a weather forecast. If you tap on this, it opens a pop-up with a slightly different forecast. Down at the bottom of the screen, I have some quick link icons just to help with navigation, to launch scenes, or to perform specific actions that I want to be able to do quickly without having to navigate around. Working from left to right across those icons, we have the little house icon that from anywhere will take me back to this page. I then have the camera icon, which navigates us to another page that includes all of the cameras around my house. The lamp icon launches a scene for my main floor living room lights. The TV icon initiates a scene for my basement, and then the little key fob icon is something that I can use to initiate a scene to lock my cars. The small Wi-Fi icon at the bottom of my screen opens up a pop-up with a QR code that allows visitors to sign on to my guest Wi-Fi. The shield icon at the bottom right opens a pop-up for security. It lets me change security modes, and that icon at the bottom right changes color based upon the mode that I select. Also at the bottom, I have a music note icon that if I tap that, it opens a pop-up to quick links for playing Apple Music playlists or adjusting volume on pre-selected HomePods. Finally, at the bottom right, I have a little garage icon. This changes based on the state of my garage door, and if I tap on it, it takes me directly to the garage room page. That's an overview of my dashboard homepage. Circling back to the room tiles, if you notice there's power icons at the upper right corner of each individual room. These power icons are based on status of accessories within each room. In order to get these to work, I use a bunch of dummy switches created in Homebridge, and then there's an automation and or shortcut that runs each time a device is turned off. When a device in a room is turned off, it checks the status of every other device in the room, and if they're all off, it will turn this power indicator off also to tell me that nothing is on within that room. If anything is on within the room, the power indicator stays lit and shows that we have active accessories within that room. Now here is an example of what happens when I tap on one of the room tiles. First, you'll notice that the tile itself changes color. I'm currently in my basement room, and all of the accessories within that room are shown. There are power status indicators for each device. You'll notice that there are icons for a motion sensor. I also have window and door sensors, and I can check the temperature quickly within that same room. Here's an example of what my utility room page looks like. Very similar to the other pages. I have door sensors, I have water leak sensors, a smart smoke detector is shown here. I also have buttons that I can activate the locks for my cars, and additionally I have a temp sensor in that room. Here's another example of a room within my house. My living room, I can turn on my living room lights, I can turn on the fireplace, or I can check the status of the windows in that room. Another room example, this is my exterior room where I can adjust all of my outdoor lighting, check the temperature, and also check the status of my front door lock. And lastly, I'll show you my garage. As you can see, there's buttons here to activate or deactivate any lights in the room. I can also open or close my garage door. I get a temperature reading, and I can also check the camera for that room via my dashboard. And here we are back at the home page. Okay, that's my overview of the VIZ Designer Dashboard that I'm currently using. There's been about 10 or 12 different revisions I've done over the last year or so, and this is the one that I'm most happy with. While not the fanciest thing in the world, it does allow for very, very quick access to an overview of what's going on inside the house. And then the navigation aspect of it is truly simple because I can be on a page to action any accessory within my house within 2 clicks from anywhere. So that's what I did. If you have ideas, feel free to comment. and thanks for watching.